Hi guys, we're back with our pumpkin lesson 2. So what we need to do, you can see we need to do a second coat on our stem. So this time I'm going to use a nice soft brush. It bounces back. It's like a sable brush. It's not a Bristol. And I'll just get a little damp, and then I'll put some green, the same color that we did before, green with a little bit of blue. Okay, darken it up. And then what we'll do is we'll fill that in with a second coat, and that'll make it a lot nicer. Okay, so then we can fix up this stem, pointy top, and we bring it around. And like you say, any adjustments that you need to make is a good time to do it now. So then you can bring it out on the side here a little bit. Okay, good. Now, getting our stem nice and cleaned up. Alright, so put some more here. So whatever it takes to make it the way you want it. Alright, so we'll just get that done there. And now what we're going to do is we are going to draw a leaf. So why don't we take a leaf, we'll just take it very simple, just take it out to pointy, to like a half a line, and then you take another one from this bottom and bring it out and up. It depends on how big you want your leaf, okay? So, and I'm going to get you to draw another line so we can half it up, so we can make one part of it nice and dark and another part nice and light. So here we go. So what I'm going to do is take my dark green paint that I used and probably a little bit of red. Okay, now, so I'm just mixing my paint. Okay, so just to get that nice green, I just took some green, added a little bit of blue, and I added a bit of red to get that nice dark greenish color. And some more green. Okay, so just take that and put it on your leaf on the bottom. Okay, if it doesn't come out green enough, just add more green. There we go. And then you just fill in the bottom of your leaf. Now, that's simple. This is your nice dark bottom. Okay, there we go. Good. Now it's going to need a second coat, as you can see. Alright, so while we're waiting for the second coat, we'll just only go into only green, and then you can fill that in with a lighter green. So in order to get it even lighter, you can add some yellow to it and brighten it up. Yellow and green. And brighten it up. There we go. So we got the top part started. This is just being started now, okay? So it's just an underpainting until we get the main details done. That's your leaf. That's just the start, okay? And now what we can do is we can take our softer brush and we will go over that again, and we will put on your lighter green. So I'm just adding green and yellow together, and I'm just going to take my leaf and shape it up. So I'm just going to pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back. Okay, so that'll get some leaves, make it look like a little bit of leaf. Just pull back. Good. And then you can go back over it again. Simple. Okay, so that just gives you some shape. Alright. Alright. We may need another coat on that, so don't worry. So what I'm going to do while waiting for that to dry so we can put another coat on it, I'm going to take a yellowish green, and I am going to highlight the top of the stem right here, some nice yellow. Okay, so just go at the top of that and go around the top, And there we go. And then wipe off your brush. When you wipe off your brush, there's not too much paint on it, then you can, because we don't want to lose the shadow. We'll just rub on the rest of the paint there. See? Okay, so let's fill in the bottom part there again. So take your green paint, the dark color that you did, and go back over that again. So I just need some more green paint. Now, there we go. So I'm just putting more green paint on my brush, adding a bit of red and a bit of blue to keep it dark. There we go. I'm just going to paint over. Okay, so see, I'm glad I'm making this error, mistake, whatever you want to call it. The paint is not quite dry underneath here, so what's happening is it's pulling off the paint instead. So we let that dry more, so leave that alone. Let's leave that alone. But I'm glad I did that, because that will show you how you can pull off the paint if you don't let it completely dry underneath what you're trying to put on top. You only leave it wet if you're trying to blend the colors together. Okay, now here's a tricky part. So now we're going to try and straighten this up here. We're going to try and make some nice little shadows in here. I'm just showing you where the lines are. You can wet your brush, and then you can go back in and darken up that line so you can just see it with a bit of water. Okay, let's see what happens. And we need some more orange to go on that, to do a second coat. So we'll do a little bit of a second coat first. Let's just get that second coat on there. Okay, so just brighten it up, straighten it up whatever way you want to, get rid of your lines. Alright, so we can go up and down and put our orangey paint on here. Here we go. I can still see my lines, so hopefully you can too. And if you can't, if you lose your lines, then you should be able to remember where they were. That would help. So we're just going to put on a second coat of orange just to give it a nice full bright look. Nice and orangey. I'm getting a little bit of color on my brush because I didn't clean it good enough. So I kind of don't mind making some of these mistakes, if you want to call them mistakes, because then I can show you how to fix them, or you know, what you should or shouldn't do. But anyway, so let's just go over that with orange. Your orangey color that you mixed, whether you mixed it with red and yellow, or if you just picked up the right out the tube orange. Okay, and then you're going to go up here and adjust this. Now you can take your time to adjust everything that you need. When I'm trying to do videos, I'm trying to do them fast, and I'm trying, you know, not to take too much time, but making adjustments is very important in your painting. All these little details, and that's what makes your painting look so good. Okay, we're getting some nice orangey color. See how nice and thicker it is now? There we go, lots of orange. Okay, I got the leaf down over that part there. That's okay, and we can do that too. And we'll put on our orange color. Now we got it all nice and wet too, because we are going to put on some shading. Okay, so we'll shade it up. There we go. Straighten up your lines. And any lines that you can see, you can go over it with a third coat if you have to, okay? So now why don't we add a little bit of brown to our orange. I tried orange using the complementary colors, but it didn't get dark enough for me. So we're just going to add a bit of brown. And just take that bit of brown and go on the line that you made. This is why you want your line, and shadow that line up. There we go, just to get some shadows to make some nice shapes to your pumpkin. Okay, that's all, just like that. Good. Do another one. So it's just orange and brown. Just add brown to your orange, darken it up a little, and we'll add another one. And I'm using my sable brush with the chiseled edge to get in there. So I'm just bringing it down again. Go over it a couple of times just so that it'll spread out a little bit for you. And then we'll do the other side and go with the line, go with the shape of the pumpkin. There we go. That's right. Just, it doesn't matter if it's goes outside because they're shadows, so we want them to fit in with the pumpkin. So here we go. Another line. Let's darken up that line a little bit more. There we go. Okay. So we got a few shadows. Now wipe off your brush. Wipe it off and just go around the edges of those to soften them up, okay? Just soften them up and go to the left side of that and just, or go over it and just spread it out a little bit, okay? Spread it out. Try to catch it before it dries though, because then you won't be able to get it to move. Okay, just go right over it with your clean dry brush and just spread it out. There we go. Clean dry brush. No paint on your brush, just use the paint that's already on there. So there we go. That's not too bad at all. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get our Bristol brush back, and we will get our Bristol, let's say a medium size like this, okay? Bristol. Cool. Now just wet that if it's dry. And what we're going to do is we're going to dry brush. And I think that should, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the orange again. I'm going to add some brown to it, same as the shadow color that we just made. So orange and brown. Okay. I'm just using basically half and half, okay? Just to see, you'll have to probably judge yourself how much shadow you want and how dark you want it, okay? So I'm going to take that and I'm going to wipe it off in my tissue because I don't want too much paint. I want to be able to see what way it's going to come out. So I'm just going to take it on the bottom here and I'm going to pull up some shadows. Pull up, pull up. Now there's not too much paint on your brush, so that way you can't ruin it. If you get big blobs of brown, then it's hard to change it and fix it. So putting some shadows down the bottom here will make your pumpkin look more round, okay? So let's get some shadows in. How far up you want to go is up to you, and how dark you want it is up to you, okay? So this is just me trying to get the shadows in for you. I don't want to overdo them because then, alright, so just come underneath and go up, underneath and go up. Follow the shape of the pumpkin. Same thing. So just some shadows just to give it some depth so it looks round, okay? If you want it to look round, so you can bring a little bit up here. Just great. You can see I don't have very much paint on my brush, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Alright, so that you're just dry brushing your shadows on, okay? Just whatever's left over on your brush, just pull them up or pull them down. As long as you go in the shape of the pumpkin, they should look really nice. So I'm just going to put a few here and there, okay? Sometimes I get a little bit too much. Alright, but I'm not going to. There we go. So you want to darken it up even more. Put more brown than orange on your brush and then just pull up again. Make sure you don't have too much paint on. As you can see, I'm getting a bit of a blob there. So make sure that you don't have too much paint on your brush. So let's continue with that until you're happy. And when you're happy, I'm happy. So, like I say, you can have as much on as you want or as little as you want, alright? So that's okay. So we can probably add a little bit more just to give it more depth. So don't forget to wipe your brush off. Get as much off as you can and then pull some more up. Just pull up in the same shape as your pumpkin. Alright, I think I'm not going to put too much more on there because, like I say, you can put on as much as you want. Now, leave that. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take that really nice, take a nice brush, go back to that sable brush, we'll call it, because the bristles are not bristly, they're nice and springs back, but they're so smooth, really nice. Let's go into some yellow, and let's take yellow and highlight this top up here, okay? Just highlight the top up here just to give it a little bit of light. See all these little details? It'll bring your pumpkin to life. There we go. Some more yellow. Just put it on there. Perfect. And you can bring it down into the pumpkin a little bit. Good. A little bit up here again. Up, 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 up. Okay. Yeah, and you can bring it down into your pumpkin. Whatever's left over on your brush, then you can just smooth it down. Whatever is left over on your brush, okay? Don't reload, just bring down whatever's left over on your brush, just to give it some highlight. Alright, that's just a bit of highlight there. Now let's put a little bit of highlight on the top of your, right here, because you already put some lighter green on, but now we're going even lighter again. So all these little details, right? All these different values of color. So you got really dark green, you got a medium green, and you got the really bright highlight. We can also highlight this one again. So you can put that back in here like this. Just scratch it on. Now because we need a second coat there, go back into your green and put that in there. Okay, and then you'll have your highlight and your greens. We can go back in with some more highlight. You can put your green on first if you like, and then put your highlight on again, because that really needed the extra paint. Alright, looking good. So pull out some of these lines here to make it, give it some shape. Up-de-doo. Up-de-doo. Yeah, I know, I'm being silly, sorry. Okay, so let's get this up here. Coming along, we'll put some more yellow on that. Let's get that dark underpainting there. Let's get that back in there. There we go. That nice dark color there. Perfect. I like this brush because with the chiseled edge you can get up around lines. Alright, so we'll keep that going. There we go. Now what we're going to do is fix that. Good. Perfect. And you can also pull out a few of these lines. As you can see, you've got to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until you're happy with your painting. Okay. So now I'm going to put a little bit of yellow on top of this where I took it out. Little bits here and there. Just pull back on those lines. There we go. Just move it in towards your leaf. There we go. If you want more or less, you just go ahead and do. I'm just trying to give you some ideas. So if you want more or less highlights, that's great. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll take, let's see, how about a big old brush, a big old Bristol brush, make the grass. How's that? So we're going to make the grass by there's your Bristol. We're going to make green. And we'll add a bit of complementary color red to it. Just tap into your green. Tap, 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 tap. And red. Tap, 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 tap. And then tap somewhere else to get the color you're looking for. Okay, so there's you toning it down a little bit. Because we're going to do highlights on it. Maybe a little bit of blue. Okay, and green. We'll get a darker color. So here we go. So all you got to do now is just start wherever you want. Probably if you're right-handed, start to the right. And just tap. Okay, tap, 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 tap. Alright, go in and get some more paint. Tap, 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 tap. Put some grass up around here. Tap, tap away. Okay. Good. Tap away your grass, just to get something there to say you've got some grass around your pumpkin. Tap, 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 tap. Alright. Put your colors together and put them on there. So now your pumpkin is in the grass. So we'll just put the grass around the pumpkin. There we go. We'll do some more stuff with this now in the next video. I'm just going to get you started on this part first. This is a bit of work too. So keep your grass going. I'm going to highlight that grass and we're going to add a few things to it. We'll just continue on having some fun. by the time we're finished, you should have a painting